Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over a few pieces that I picked up from the Iluvsarahii and Dose of Colors collection. I only picked up the eyeshadow, one highlight, one liquid lip, and one gloss, but I did two different looks for you guys. This one right here I'm going to show you guys really quickly, as well as this dramatic look. But before I get into those tutorials, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the products, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts at the end. In the collection we have one eyeshadow palette, and this is what it looks like right here. You are getting a mirror inside of here, and this retails for $35. There's two different highlighters. I got the shade Soulmate. It seemed to be the lighter of the two, and again there is a mirror. This retails for $28. There's two lip glosses for $17 each. I got the shade Barely There, and there's four liquid lips for $18, and I got the shade Fresa. I think that's how you say it. If you wanted to grab the entire collection, they do have a bundle for $197. I absolutely love the packaging on the collection. I think it's so pretty. It's like elegant, but kind of like gives me vacation feels. So pretty. So this is the eyeshadow palette, and these are the shades that we have on the inside. There's two mattes, three metallics, and then this one is like a glitter and matte kind of combined. For the highlight, I chose Soulmate because it seemed like it was going to be the lighter of the two that were there, and oh my gosh, it took me so long to try and get a picture of this because it kept wanting to show up gold, but this is like a pinky champagne almost. So I had to go all around this room and find the right light to show what it actually looked like, but this is blinding. I'm going to show you guys swatches of the lip products I picked up, the gloss, and then also the liquid lipstick. I went with this color because this is one of my favorite bold colors in general. Like, I love this type of color, but I don't wear liquid lipsticks a lot, so I know if it's a nude, I'm almost always going to grab for a lipstick. So I went with something a little bit more bold, but I'm going to show you guys a comparison to some other lipsticks in my collection later. For right now, I'm going to show you guys how I created this look. I just took a MAC 227 in that peachy shade down at the bottom, and I put that all into the crease, and I worked it up as my transition shade. Then I took the MAC 221 and took that shade underneath the lower lash line as well. And then I packed it on the lid with a Delium 777. Wayne Goss number 5 brush and the terracotta shade, and I put that on the outer 3/4 of the lash line on the top as well as the bottom. I didn't want to go all the way to the inner corner because I didn't want to close off the eye. And then with a MAC 242, I finished off the look with the very first shade in the palette. I put that on the inner corner, and then I also highlighted my brow arch with that. And then as you can see, I finished off the look with mascara, and then I did add a little bit of black liner to the inner rim up top, again, just 3/4 of the way in. This is just a super easy way to use the palette if you want to run out the door, but you want a little bit of color on the eyes. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the more dramatic look. Zoeva 227 in that peachy shade at the bottom, starting on the outer corner. I'm going to work this up into my crease. Once I get it into my crease, I'm slowly going to work it upward as my transition shade. Same brush and the terracotta shade, I'm going to deepen up the crease with this one. Doing the same thing to the lower lash line, first starting with that peachy shade in a MAC 221. And now back in with that terracotta, same brush. I'm just going a little bit closer to the lash line. Clean blending brush, no product on it. I'm just going right around the edges. And this is a Nars 42. Back in with that MAC 221 and the black sparkle. I'm going to press this on the outer V and the inner corner. Again, I'm just tapping this into place. And then I'm slowly Going to take that into the crease and slowly blend this slightly upward. Going back in with the Zoeva 227, no additional product on there. Just going to go around and blend the edges of this. BOM 18 from Royal and Lang Nickel, I'm going to start pressing and smudging this up against the lower lash line. MAC 221 and that peachy tone just to help blend this out. Right around the top edge with a Delium 776, that same peachy tone, and just blending. MAC 242 and that turquoise, I'm going to place this on the outer V and then right on the inner as well. I'm going back in with that shade Wet instead to intensify it. 716 from Delium, I'm using that shade Wet again, smack up against the lower lash line. Right in the center, I'm taking the lightest shade in the palette and tapping it in. It's going right around the edge with that 221 that I had the black on, no additional product. For the inner corner, I'm going in with that gold. And this is a Linda Hallberg 303. MAC 228, I'm going to brighten that up with the highlighter right on the very center. And I'm also going to place that at my brow arch, and then I'm going to add some mascara and liner and be done. And then to finish off that look, all I did was add black liner to the inner rim, top and bottom, and then Kiss Ritzy lashes, of course. Now let me show you guys me applying this Soulmate highlighter. This is so intense, you guys. I used a Linda Hallberg 306 and it just goes on and it's just bam, right out the gate. Like, it is insane. You can use the Anastasia, I think it's the A23, and it will kind of feather it out a little bit more, so you can shear this out if you want to. But I mean, I am not mad at this. It adds a tiny bit of texture, but nothing that I am mad at. I really like this, and it's not too dark for me. I was concerned about that when I saw the shades. I was like, I don't know if one's gonna work for me. The shade that I'm wearing in my foundation today is closer to my winter shade. Like, if I took off this shirt, my top and bottom don't match. So if you're an NC20, this highlight is gonna work just fine for you. As you can see in the clip, I did have on the liquid lipstick. This went on very well. It was not patchy or anything like that. It just took one layer to apply. So I really liked the color, but it did remind me of two that I already have in my collection. So maybe if you don't want a liquid lipstick, if you have one of these, you're already pretty much set. So the first shade I compared it to is the Nars Grace. This one's a little bit lighter, but you guys know how I feel about Nars Grace. And then this shade right here is from MAC, the Lip Tensity formula in the shade Fireworks. This one is like almost spot on for it, but it's just a different formula. I would have worn this liquid lips today, but I've already filmed my day and night like go-to looks, and I'm wearing one of like this type of shade in the video. So I was like, let me not come on camera again with like this same kind of look going on. The gloss alone, I'm not a fan. It's too light and it kind of shows my lip. I don't know, it's like not patchy, but it's like one of those glosses that you can't wear alone because it looks odd on the lips. But over top of a liner, it's beautiful. And when I have it over top of Rimmel's number 49, what is it called? 1,000 Kisses liner, and it looks really nice. It's comfortable, not sticky. It's like the perfect kind of consistency, but I don't, again, like it on its own. Now there's a few things I want to talk about with the eyeshadow palette. So the first thing I want to say is, I thought that this black shade was going to have a ton of fallout, and I was impressed that it didn't. It's super pigmented. Like super pigmented, and it blended out nicely. I did get a little bit of this glitter on my face. I don't know if you could see it on camera, but I did have a little bit, but nothing like I had anticipated. You are not going to get this amazing sparkle. I'm going to insert a clip of just this eyeshadow or a picture, and you'll be able to see the amount of sparkle in here. It is insane. And then I just touch it. Like I still have a little bit on my finger from touching it earlier. And you can see just, it's so sparkly. But the only way you're going to get that effect is by using a glitter glue or something on your lid and adhering it. Otherwise, it just kind of looks like a black shadow. I do want to say though, you've seen those shadows that have the glitter in them, but they still feel more of like a matte shadow. This does not. So like if you actually use a glitter glue with it, it's going to be very intense because there's so much glitter in it. This blue shade, like blue, green, I don't know what it is, but I have nothing like it in my collection. I went ahead and just took this shadow palette and I put it up against the purple blue palette from Natasha Denona. I also put it up against the green brown and also the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, because those are just the ones that came to mind for this shade and then the overall concept. If you're buying this palette for anything other than these two shades, I don't think it's worth it, because these other four are definitely easily duped. It's nothing special. They worked just fine. I didn't have issues with them, but I wouldn't suggest it if it wasn't for these two. This green, blue, whatever this is alone is so stunning. It's stunning, you guys, but this is not beginner friendly. You do get quite a bit of fallout when you use this shade, and it does work better wet, but the intensity you get out of it is definitely worth it. So for me, I love this mainly just because of the shade. I love the shade so much. And then as you can see, you can definitely get a very appropriate daytime look with this palette as well. So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you're going to grab anything from this collection, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.